Hello. Okay, so what do we have on the desk for today? This looks like, well, this looks like an 820-00165, and it doesn't give a light on the charger. So let's figure out why we have no light in the charger. We're going to get the multimeter overlay on the screen and do some measuring. Now, as most of you know, the first rail that we need is PP3V42 because that allows the charger to talk to the system management controller. And over here on this inductor, which is filled with flux, we're getting 3.43 volts. 3.43 volts is no good. Now the next thing I want to do is see if the SMC is running. And I also want to check out what the DC in connector looks like. The DC in connector over here actually looks fine. And if you listen really, really closely, you'll hear that the assistant that we fired is back in the background.
I heard that. Let's keep fired, huh?
You hear? I can actually trap her there because she doesn't want to be seen on camera. So if I hit this button,
now she won't leave. You want me to stay in the bathroom?
you're trapped in the corner of the store now.
Yes. Here, hold that up in front of yourself as you walk.
Seriously? Really? You've got to be kidding me. You're kidding. You're what the fuck? Anyway, back to work. So, if we look at the DC in connector, you'll see that it looks fine. So the next thing that I'm going to look at is see if the SMC is turning on, and I'll be able to determine that by checking the voltage on PP bus G3 hot. Nice save, Paul. Nice.
She was too mad at me last time I helped you.
Yeah. So you made it. You made it up to her. All right. Now, F7140 is the fuse for PP bus G3 hot. Now, if you take a look over here, you'll see that. Oh, duh. I have to switch over. You'll see over here that the SMC is going to communicate with this chip on this line SM bus SM5 right over here, that little bidirectional data line. This is where the SMC is going to communicate with this chip. And when the SMC communicates with this chip, when it's turning on, PP bus G3 hot is going to be a little bit lower than a little bit higher than 8.1 volts. When the SMC is not communicating with it, it'll be lower than its spec voltage at 8.1. And as you can see, we're getting 8.1 volts there. That's no good. So what we're going to do next is see if the SMC is actually turning on. There's a chip called U5100. This chip is going to reset the SMC. And if the chip breaks, it'll permanently keep the SMC in reset mode. If the SMC is in reset mode, then it's not going to turn on properly. So let's take a look and see if the SMC is in reset mode or not right now. So we're going to find U5100 on the board. So over here, we're going to probe and measure SMC reset, which is going to be present on pin 5. SMC reset is 1.39 volts. Now we got to figure out if the SMC reset is low because the SMC is shorting the signal to ground, which is a possibility, or because the chip itself is bad. And I'll let you leave your bets on that. but I'm going to take off the SMC just to check. I mean, the SMC reset, I see, not the SMC. Because taking off the SMC would make me sad. Uh-oh. Where's that plug for the fume extractor?
Oh, I actually have to use that thing right now. So.
Oh, yeah, okay, never mind. Let's see. Okay.
First I have to open the machine up, but then I can use it.
GDPR compliance fault, says Charles Benson. Indeed. Witness protection program. Was that Hillary's scarf, says Dan the plumber. Why does Paul have shower curtains under his desk? Why do you have shower curtains under your desk?
That's going to be the new curtain for the bathroom window.
Oh.
It's because of that sheet on it. See, it's our logo.
Lewis, say something happens between you and Apple makes a mistake, and they have to admit to all the stuff they've been doing over the years, and it becomes a big international scandal. Who would you want to play you in the movie? Oh, that is a logo. Wait, you had that printed up with the logo, or that just...
I found it
on black sheep, white sheep, black sheep. Let me see. That's adorable. I don't think Apple. There's not going to be any scandal because most people. It's not a scandal because people have accepted being treated like crap. You can't really call it a scandal. It's a scandal would be, oh my God, you didn't know it was happening, but people know it's happening. They just don't care. So that doesn't really classify as a scandal. Have you watched Rich Rebuilds? Yes, I have. He actually messaged me, and he wanted to do a call and a stream, but some people quit right when he messaged me, so I never got back to him. So I feel like a real dick for that. If you're watching, Rich, I'm sorry. I actually do want to do a video with him. It would be fun to have a talk on Tesla. I screwed up there. You have a Twitch channel? I do. Okay, so now that the SMC reset I see is off the board, I'm going to plug it in, and it's not going to work because the SMC is going to wind up crashing, but I will be able to see if the SMC reset voltage is high again. And as can be seen there, the SMC reset voltage is 3.37 volts, which means that unlike all the boards that Paul gets that require an SMC, mine only needs a little SMC reset, I see. Ain't I lucky? You have to have some luck. You know, you have to make up for things like owning shares of AGRX on last Friday in some way. This is a small way. Small little victories. All right, so new chip. Let's just make some nice pretty little solder joints over here. Gonna make some pretty little solder joints with some nice Amtech flux. We're gonna make this a nice happy little board again. It's okay, little board. I know that you didn't get any liquid protection from your father. I know your dad didn't care about you. That's okay, little board. I care about you. I'm going to put you back together again. What phone do you have? I have a Samsung S7, which is dumb, because I should have my Moto G. I got my S7 because I thought it would be better for mobile live streaming if I decided to do more mobile live streaming. But I never did more mobile live streaming, and when I did, it was actually just as bad as the Moto G. It wasn't the phone that was, even the network that was the limiting factor. It was the YouTube app. YouTube app with mobile live streaming, everything is just a pixel, regardless of the mobile network. Even good phone, good network, bad network. Expensive, cheap, doesn't matter. So I use an S7. It has a nicer screen than the Moto G, I'll give it that much, you know, but like that's it. That's literally it. I just ate that capacitor. Whoops. Supposed to be on a diet. My personal trainer won't be happy with me. So let's put that back on there. The Moto G is available on every network. What are you all talking about? All right, we're going to give that a second to cool off before we plug this back in. And then we'll see if we really fix this the easy way. Yeah.
Got it? No.
I'll put that through the ultrasonic cleaner later to make it look nice and pretty. So what do y'all think? Think this is going to be a fan spin? Do you think we're going to have a glorious fan spin? I'm thinking fan spin. One way to find out. Okay. I'm going to turn on the power supply. That is just gorgeous. Fan spin. So what do we do to make this board work again? Well, we noticed that there was no green light in the charger. And the charger is going to talk to the SMC on something called the system one-wire line. So let's find that. So sys one-wire is over here. And if we find this connector, this is the left I/O. This is the connector that leads to the left I/O board. So this is the charger, and it's going to talk over this wire on the sys one-wire line, which is what you see over here, sys one-wire. Now sys one-wire is going to go over to the SMC. I just have to figure out how. There we go. Double click. I love this integration with the board view. I love the PDF integration with the board view. God bless Paul Daniels for this. And this chip needs to turn on in order to work. Now, this chip is going to turn on if it's getting a reset signal. So let's find out where that would be. So the reset signal is going to be created by this circuit here. R5100 is going to pull up the reset signal, and U5110 pulls it down for a quarter of a second when the machine first turns on, and then releases it. The reset signal is similar to the reset signal on the front of your desktop computer. If you have a desktop computer that you've built and has a reset button, and you hold the reset key down, most likely if you hold it down, it's never going to start. You need to release the reset key in order for it to work. And the same thing is true here. That reset key cannot be held down or left low. Remember, _L on the schematic means low. That means that this signal is present when it is low. That's what _L means. So if this is 0, not 3.3 volts, that means that the reset is held down. The reason that you have this reset chip here is because this chip, the SMC, will crash if it tries to run right as the voltage goes to the board. So this chip runs off of a 3-volt rail, but it takes about a quarter of a second for that rail to stabilize, and this chip tells everything in the machine to turn on. So this chip can't turn on while this rail that's being created by this chip is still stabilizing. So the SMC reset IC is going to ensure that the SMC does not start for a quarter of a second before the machine for the first quarter of a second the machine turns on. So this chip is going to say, hey, I know that your machine just got power, but stop for the first quarter of a second and then turn on. It's going to delay the SMC reset from going high immediately. Now, if this chip breaks, it's going to keep SMC reset low all the time, and that's going to result in the machine not working. The other way that I can tell that the SMC wasn't on is that there's a power rail that's created by U7100. This is the main line in the machine, and it talks to the SMC on a data line. And when the SMC is not able to talk to the chip that makes this power rail, what's going to happen is it's going to be lower than it's supposed to. So the SMC is going to communicate with U7100 right on this data line, and one thing I notice is that the main power line on the computer over here, which is PP bus G3 hot, will not be the full 8.5 volts that it usually is when the SMC is not working. It'll be 8.1. And we noticed it was 8.1 here, and that was part of why this wasn't working. Now, you may be wondering, I know the first question at the forefront of your mind right now is, Lewis, if I wanted to buy myself one of those chips, if I wanted a U5100 chip, where would I go? Well, boy, do I have an answer for you. If you're looking for a U5100 chip, don't delay. Buy today. Go to store.rossmangroup.com. Now with over 1,000 reviews on Shopper Approved, a 4.9 star rating, free same-day shipping from New York City within the continental United States, you can't lose. Just type in U5110 up there, and it's going to autocomplete and immediately show you the product that you probably need. It's going to have a little compatibility list down here where you can see which board it's compatible with so that you can compare and contrast it to your board. You can even search by the model number of your board right over here, and when you do that, when you click, it'll show you a list of components that are compatible with your specific motherboard. This site was designed by technicians for technicians. Don't delay. Buy today. And with that, we are going to move on to the next motherboard. Don't delay. Buy today. Don't delay. Buy today. Don't delay. Buy today. Apple is the black sheep, Lewis is the white sheep. Maybe. I have a rumor that the Note will have 8 gigabytes of RAM. Now I can have 10 apps open at the same time. No, you don't understand how this works. The more RAM they put into the the new Note phone, the more heavy and the more bloatware and the more garbage Samsung's going to include with it. Doesn't matter, huh? Yeah, they do. TouchWiz is bloatware. So you can put stock Android on the phone without voiding the warranty.
Oh, without voiding the warranty.
Yeah, there you go. And also the fucked up part with some of their phones is if you load on stock Android, and this was only my experience, maybe I was using a screwed up ROM. They have some special configuration for their noise canceling microphone. So if you put somebody else's stock Android ROM on it, it'll sound different. It's like, fuck. Like, don't Apple me. Don't tell me what I can or cannot put on the damn phone. What? The bloatware? Yeah. Not even that. I mean, like TouchWiz itself is what I consider bloatware. There's no reason that a Samsung phone after a year should get slower when it's $600. Yeah, it's like, why is it that my Motorola G3 lasted longer without getting slower than my Samsung? Because I thought when I got this Moto, you know, some fan bought it for me, and I thought, okay, how am I going to tell this guy, no offense if you're watching, the guy from Google, how am I going to tell this guy, yeah, I already have a better phone than this piece of shit that you bought me that's cheap. I'm not going to use this. And then I turn it on and configure it, and I'm thinking to myself, this is faster than my Samsung. And then I started using it, and I never turned on my Samsung again. What phone do you have?
S9 Plus.
Oh, how do you like it?
I love it. I think it's expensive, but it's great.
Oh. So I'm like I'm insulting your phone there. No, I feel bad. I have a Samsung too. This is my S7. Like I'm speaking, you know, I spent like $600 on this thing.
Tuesday for the weird Apple thing.
Yeah. I'm curious if that actually happens.
Yeah.
I just held my reset button. Now I can't see the stream. If I click chat on the online store, that should open up YouTube chat. I agree. I should task YouTube chat with answering all these questions.
To see the stream in 4K, you have to hold down alternate and hit F4.
Paul says that if you want to see the stream in 4K, And if you thing is, we got some multiple camera setup going. So if you want to see what the stream looks like through one of those $40,000 red cameras, if you hit Alt F4, it'll activate the second camera, and you'll be able to see the other angle.
How many users fall off?
Yeah, all you got to do is hit Alt F4 to activate the secondary camera. Okay.
Watch the watch count. See if it goes down. I used to do that in AOL chat rooms.
Did people seriously fall for that?
People dropped out of the chat room like crazy.
And
Speed up your computer. Hold down alternate hit F4. 5 people would disappear. Right
it technically does make it faster, because closing AOL will make your computer better.
That was back in 96.
Your opinion on the OnePlus 6 or overall for OnePlus? I've never seen or used a OnePlus phone. I should, because people keep asking me that.
Cheap, they're fast, but they skip on like waterproofing and stuff like that.
How cheap are they?
I think they're like $300.
If they're $300 and they skimp on liquid proofing, I don't see. In 2012, liquid proofing was some high-end exotic feature that don't, but it's 2018.
What, like 5? It was like waterproofing.
It was liquid resistant. It was, I think, IP67.
It didn't work well. I mean, it worked fine.
It worked better than, I mean, I'm not going to go swimming. Yeah. I wouldn't go swimming with it, but my standard is I want to be able to be out in the middle of a rainstorm that just occurs and not think, crap, that rainstorm just cost me $400. Did you ever have a BlackBerry? Oh, you're way too young to have had a BlackBerry. No, that's the thing that killed me with BlackBerry. I could wash my hands and not dry them all the way, and then I go to type, and I kill the phone. I killed so many BlackBerries just by typing on them with damp hands. It was such a joke. I don't know why people say, oh, yeah, they used to make phones durable like my BlackBerry. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, sweating your trackball killed a BlackBerry. But, yeah, I don't have patience for phones. Yeah. Even dust you could fix, but if you got liquid around it, oh, it's done. Starts at 529. Yeah, 529, you got to have some real liquid resistance. I can't mess with a phone that doesn't have liquid resistance that costs that much money. I think Apple misheard your suggestion and thought you said liquid proofing, so they added water indicators rather than liquid proofing. Probably. All right, what comes next? Let's see if I... Thank you for leaving an easy board for me, by the way.
Not on purpose.
Paul left me an easy one. That was really nice.
I left that 1534 for you, too. You can do that.
Where?
No display 1534 right behind you. Yeah?
Nope. 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 Oh, that one works. Yeah, you just have to plug it in. Somewhere. You'll find it if you look hard enough. Seek and you shall find. Okay. It's mailed in 3, board only, and a quarter fan spin. Oh, I got a water purifier. For here.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, so like we can fill it up from that thingy in the bottom of the sink, and then like a big one.
Okay, cool.
I'm excited. I noticed I don't drink enough water throughout the day, so I got one of those big Under Armour jugs.
Snapple.
Well, I can't fit the Snapple bottle in the sink. Especially not this crappy bottle. All right, let's grab something else.
Probably like Tuesday. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna start it now, and then you can pick it up then. And you want to pay for it when you pick it up? Yeah, that's fine. We'll do it. Yeah. No, when you pick it up. All right. That's it. You're all set. You're all. Do you have a password on this, by the way?
Board only. These look like packs of cocaine. Why the... What the f... These really do look like packs of cocaine. Bricks, as Gucci Mane would say. You should get an ice cream tattoo on my face. Would you get an ice cream tattooed on your face?
I wouldn't get anything tattooed on my face.
That's gonna suck when he's 70 years old and all wrinkly. Huh? What about? Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's see. Quarter fan spin. All right. So these were sent board only, which means that they're probably junk. Yep. That is a single quarter fan spin. Oh, multiple quarter fan spins. All right. I wonder what could be causing that. So let's take a look around this 820-3437 and see what shows up. First thing I'm doing is looking for any corrosion along the SPI ROM probe points. Anything at all that could indicate a reason for quarter fan spinning. Now, I could check for shorts on all the SO rails, but that's boring. Let's do that. Let's just open up a schematic for the 3437. All right. Do we have a short on an SO rail? Odd way to find out. Let's get that meter on the screen. Resistance mode. Turn off the power. Over 3 kiloohms, that's not it. Let's check out another SO rail. PP5 ESO. $23 kiloohms. Boring. Next. PP0V6 SO. Nope. Boring. PP1V05 SO. EP1V. Nope. Well then. PP5VS. Alright. I'll give in and use the thermal camera. Yeah. I feel like such a noob. Quarter fan spin is the most annoying problem to fix. A customer? I have no idea. Let's see. What gets warm? The ISL gets a little warm, but it's supposed to. The clock crystal is not warm, that's just reflecting light because it's shiny. Yeah, why not? It's already hot. Okay, so it doesn't look like anything on this board gets warm, and the major rails have no short circuit. Quarter fan spinning could be either a current sense issue or not a clock issue. They haven't had clock issues since they upgraded the chip in 2012 to use a different clock chip. Current sensing is fine. Clock area is fine. BIOS area is a little dusty here. And the probe points that have little colors on them are probe points going to the SPI ROM. Is it worth trying alternative BIOS? It's definitely not worth programming one right now, but just to solve my curiosity. Yeah, because the left side of the BIOS chip looks really nice. Right side looks dirty. Nice, dirty. Nice, dirty. Nice, dirty. Which?
Like the temp.
I have no idea.
It's like really brittle. Just take it off the tweezers.
When are you going to come back again?
Thanks for stopping by.
Two trains? You have running shoes on. What do you mean 2 trains? You don't need trains. You have running shoes. Goodbye.
You still owe me dinner. I remember that. So, let me know.
Okay. Donor?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Leaving? Yeah. All right. I'm late. Bye.
Hey, this thing's fixed.
Right. Put the computer back.
Let me just fix it next time I get it.
Yeah, like put it in a spot and then put it in your name.
Or do you want me to just leave it on my table?
I don't know. You have to put it in a spot because things get lost. Find the screws for it. Find everything for it. Put it together. All right. So grab it. Put it in your bag.
See you, Lewis.
See ya.
See you in like 2 days.
Enjoy your extended weekend. Remember your assignment. I'm please broing. I replace BIOS. This is the ultimate please bro repair. Good night. I was lazy and did that without the microscope. Let's see how bad that is. Not terrible. Oh, yeah. I'll be here.
See you tomorrow.
See you later. If I buy from your store and I live in Mexico, I need to pay fees or taxes? I don't know. Probably. I want to buy a new out air station. I'm working in tech repair for Dihua security cameras. Greetings from Mexico. Awesome. I don't think there's any way to get around taxes. If you could find a way to get around taxes, I'll move to your country. Okay, let's see if this works. Oh, shit. Got my cap. And fuck this. Alright, so he probably sent me 3 boards that were garbage. So these are getting put back in their space. Junk. Do you fix Mac Minis? No. They're too cheap. And they don't really break. The only thing that breaks on them is the fan connector when people break it upgrading the drive. Get out of there with that pile of junk. What's the latest model you're doing repairs on? I don't know. If people bring the new ones, we'll try. They're always more difficult because you haven't had as much time to really research the failures and figure out how everything works yet. So, newer models can suck to fix, but we will do what we can. Have you looked at the 2018 Lenovo X1 Carbon ThinkPad? Loved your older ThinkPad reviews. I haven't checked it out yet. I haven't reviewed it because reviewing it means buying it. And let's see. I'm going to take a look. I may actually be able to answer the question of whether or not doing reviews was dumb. I think I can. So let me take a look at what my other ThinkPad review was. So when I typically only review the stuff that I buy for myself because a review is not going to pay for itself. But if I look, let's see. Come on, 300 megabit per second, $500 internet. There we go. ThinkPad. Okay, we do this. We go lifetime. My ThinkPad review video in its lifetime made $119, and that ThinkPad was $1,400. So probably not doing any reviews anytime soon. Let me see. What about the Moto G1? Okay. Let's see. What did that one? Okay, the S7 versus the Moto G video made $167. So it didn't even cover the cost of the Moto, much less the Samsung. Yeah, so I don't plan on becoming a review channel anytime soon. It would be cool, but yeah, it just wouldn't make sense. All right, back to... Not for Linus, I wouldn't be in this live stream. Well, thank you, Linus, then. Okay, now people are going to tell me what their internet speeds are. Don't raise my blood pressure by telling me what you pay for your broadband. Don't raise my blood pressure, please. Please. That's going to make me sad. I thought people couldn't send you board-only repairs. Yeah, they broke the rules. And I opened it to see if it was something simple, but no. They broke the rules. GTFO. Okay. What's next on the list? An A1708. Boo. I hate A1708. Luke Midor says Time Warner is still the best. Don't say things like that. There's no reason for that. All right. Let's see what's wrong with this. Actually, let's unplug everything first. Let me put back the stuff that he didn't. Is there any chance of receiving a NitroCaster board for an X230? Or speeding up the process? Nope. The thing with NitroCaster's board is he's trying to get custom development done on something that very, very few people want at a low price. So that's difficult. So he does it in batches to make it sensible. Yeah. So it's something that he could like afford to do. Okay, let's take apart this A1708. Let's try and figure out what's going on with this machine. So this is a liquid damaged A1708. This is the non-touch bar machine from 2016 through 18. And I'm curious as to whether we can make it work. This is an 820-00840 motherboard. Got myself a beautiful little amp meter, USB-C amp meter. I know you frown upon liquid metal to shunt GPUs, but what about using them in the MacBook to help them run cooler, as thermal paste? I don't really think there's enough of a benefit for it to be worthwhile, honestly. I don't see enough of a benefit for it to matter. I would just use good thermal paste. Use something like Tunic TX4 and you're fine. And the risk of screwing something up with liquid metal is not worth it to me. The problem with the MacBook is the small heatsink, crappy ventilation, all that. That's the problem. It's not gonna it's not the thermal paste that's really killing you. But thank you for the $5. You do not have personal electronic projects that say, what I did, it's too cool, I have to show it to my subscribers? I don't have any personal electronics projects because when I go home, I am done with working on electronics. Yeah, when I'm done with all this stuff at the end of the day, the last thing I want to do is see a soldering iron or a PC board. One fan, that's lame. Hey, one good fan can be all you need sometimes. In 2009, Apple made this one machine with one fan, and that's one of the few machines that didn't die from overheating. Or some dead GPU nonsense. If I sent you an NVIDIA graphics card from Zotac, would you be remotely willing to work on it? No. I can't no schematics, can't get chips, and even if I could, it probably wouldn't be worth it. But can't get chips, can't get parts, can't get schematics. No, there's really no point. Not much I can do. The sucky industry. It wasn't the A1342. It was an A1286 in 2009. One of the few that actually lasted. But it had that nonsense where the back case was 2 pieces instead of 1, so it would fall apart. What do you think of Librem 5? I don't know what that is. Let's see. What is Librem 5? I'll type it in Google. Librem 5. A security and privacy focused phone. Running free and open source software in Linux. Okay. I think this is probably going to be a phone that has virtually no software that I actually need on it. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, this would be cool. Having a phone that runs something other than fucking Android or iOS. iOS, your freedom belongs to Apple. And with Android, your data belongs to Google. So, don't get me wrong, I'd like to see other stuff. By all means, I'd like to see other stuff in the mix. Absolutely. It's just, if I look at my phone right now, let's see. Okay, so I have a Fresh Desk application. That would suck. I probably wouldn't have that anymore. I use Uber. It would suck to not have that anymore. What are the things that would really bother me to not have? I guess that it's Linux, so I could get any email app that I want. I'm not sure if my voice over IP app would be available. Maybe there'd be a better one for the store, for using the store phone. I have a live chat application that I use for the store tech support every now and then. There's a lot of stuff that I probably wouldn't be able to have if I use Linux on the phone. I mean, you could open all that stuff in the web browser, but then there comes the question of how good would using an app inside of a web browser on a phone be? What are common points of failure in an A1342? The DC inboard area, it cracks, and eventually you're going to send 18 volts to the something that you're not supposed to. On the DC inboard, it's going to have a lot of cracking. That's common. The plastic casing gets cracked in that area. Supposedly, or on HTML5 apps. So that would be cool. But again, I would foresee the problem of no apps available without a lot of support. Without a lot. You know, that's the thing. It would be. It's like using when people ask me, "Well, Lewis, why don't you use Linux for video editing and all the stuff you do?" It's like you can use your isotope and you can use those plugins. You can use them just fine in Wine. Okay, but can I use them inside of a video editor? No, you can't. But you can. Oh, well, yeah, exactly. You know, it's. Yeah, it's. How do I put this without getting owned? Yeah, I could use Fresh Desk inside the web browser, and yeah, but like, is it going to be as good as the app is on Android? Would be my question. And if it is, then I'm dumping all this Android shit because, you know, Google owns enough of my life already. I don't like the fact that Google owns like 100% of my life. I'd like to get to a point by the time that I'm in my mid-30s where Google owns maybe 70% of my life, and that would be cool. That would be nice, but I don't. But the thing is, I've admittedly given up a lot of my privacy for freedom, because it's not just freedom. I mean, I've given up a lot of my privacy for by using Android just for the convenience of it as well. Like, I like that I have a good push live chat application for the website and a good ticketing software that I've set up the way I like. Freshdesk as ticketing software and the ability to configure filters and all sorts of stuff and alerts, and I don't want to stop using all that stuff. If the web browser experience with all these things would be good on a Linux phone, then maybe I'd consider it. But the main problem there is going to be that all the stuff that I want to use, there's going to be like one thing that's not available it's going to wind up being a deal breaker for me. Is probably the way it would go. YouTube is really switching up your ads. Want do jacket. What the hell is want do jacket? That's If you use wine, you can get drunk and then you ignore the Linux comments. Google does boneheaded moves and users suffer. Google is going after your spleen. Resistance is futile. Maybe. So who in the chat would want to help a cute girl do their physics homework? Would any of you help a cute girl do their physics homework just because they were a cute girl? Totally hypothetical question. Can I trust the $20 to $30 genuine charges from Amazon or eBay? Fuck no. They are blowing R7105, guaranteed. I see a no, I see a no, I see a yes. Okay, John Hodgman says yes. Quantum Tunneler says I do that. Charlie says I had. YTDH says yeah, maybe. Demeet says I'd be willing to test her physics. That's not the question that I asked. Let's see. Not for a troll. Junter says I would do that just because I'm a nice person. Okay. We've got the board out of the case. This is our MacBook. And this is the one that does not have a soldered-on SSD. So this is not a complete pile of crap. It's a partial pile of crap. It does have the RAM soldered onto the board. So this board does have soldered-on memory, but it does not have a soldered-on SSD. So it's only a partial pile of shit. So I'm going to do is I'm going to plug it in using this little USB C amp meter that I have here. And let's see how many amps it's using. So it's using at 19.8 volts, we're drawing 0.00 amps. And that's no good. So let's open up the schematic for this thing, figure it out. Real response, no. Why? Because I'm not educated in physics. Me either. Nice guys finished last as stale pancake. Yep. Let's see. Is that USB-C amp meter on your site? No, I actually don't even know where I got this from. Paul had this on his desk and I took it from him. I need to... Okay, so I'm going to open up the schematic in the board view for this board using Paul Daniels' beautiful software. By the way, have I told you all about Paul Daniels and his amazing software? Because if I haven't, then let me just tell you about Paul Daniels and his amazing software. Check this out. This is his new board view software. This board view software integrates with the PDF reader. When I choose a new board view file, it allows me to open that board view file with a PDF, and they integrate. So what I can do is cool stuff like this. Check this out. So if I want to click, actually this is the old version. I need to show with the new version. Must show with new version. Yes. All right, check it out. So we're going to open up the board view for this board using Paul Daniels' new amazing software. I go here, I'm going to click this board view, and it's automatically going to open the PDF at the same time because it's going to detect that it's in the same folder. After it does that, they integrate together. So let's say that I'm looking for ppbus underscore G3 hot. And let's say I'm looking for one of the chips that may be responsible for creating that voltage. I can click something. This is a terrible ad. We're going to rewrite this ad. Check out this new software available from Paul Daniels. It integrates the board view and the PDF into the same application. when you open up a board view, it's automatically going to open up the schematic for that model board. If you click any point on the board, gone are the days where you have to then go over to the schematic, hit Control F on your keyboard, and then have to go past the microscope which is in front of you and go ow with your hand as you hit it, and type Control F and type in what you want to see. All you do is click on the chip and then click right over here where it says PDF. And it'll automatically bring you to where that shows up on the PDF. And then you can drag and look around the PDF as you please. If you double click, if you click on a signal and you click on a signal on the board view twice, it'll then show you everywhere that shows up on the schematic. If I click on C7111 and click PDF, it'll show me C7111 on the schematic. And if I click on CPU VR IMON twice, it'll then bring me to each instance where that shows up on the board view, on the schematic itself. This software allows the schematic and the board view to integrate together in a way that's never before been possible. Paul Daniels brought to you this amazing board software, and this software has been available for free for a long period of time. Prior to this, you had to use things like Landrex TestLink, last updated in 1995. Give Paul Daniels a thank you for producing this lovely software today by checking out his channel on YouTube at youtube.com/ I forgot his username. I mean, youtube.com/ user/ on youtube.com/user/19PLD73. Don't delay. Check out Paul Daniels' channel today, and make sure to sign up for a license for his newly available Flex Board View commercial software. On Paul Daniels' channel, you can find repair videos, videos on programming, taking things apart, talking about the repair industry, and more. Don't delay. Subscribe today. Isn't Common Core just a way to get an answer by complicating the problem? Common Core sucks. Now, back to our board view and back to our repair. So what do we need to do here? We need to go to the list of power rails, and that list of power rails is going to be available usually around page 60-something. Here we go. This is actually a really short schematic. It ends at page 69, which makes me wonder if this damn thing even is the right schematic. Oh, this is such a crap. This sucks. Wow, that is some bull. They butchered this schematic. What's this shit? What's this garbage? Oh, they changed everything. All right, let's check out PP Bus G3 Hot. Whoa, you can just right-click on something. I didn't even notice this either. I got to include this in my shilling. If you just right-click on something in the schematic, it will bring it up on the board view. Wow. PP3v3S5, right-click. Oh my God, that's amazing. PP3v3_G3 hot. I just select it with the right mouse button, and it automatically shows you everywhere that it shows up on the board view software. How could you use this software and not just want to cum your pants with excitement? Because that's what I'm doing right now. Wow. Amazing. Jesus Christ. This is awesome. Oh my God. Wow. Whoa. Oh. This is life-changing. Paul Daniels is also responsible for the multimeter software that you see in the upper left corner of the screen, where the multimeter integrates with Open Broadcaster so that I can show you exactly what's going on the screen as I use the multimeter. I wasn't prepared for this. This is just too cool. Okay, let's see what I get on F8400. Oh. This is too cool. I get 13.08 volts, so that's good. Next thing I'm going to check out, oh, this is so cool. I don't have to touch the keyboard anymore. This is awesome. PP3v3_G3 hot. I'm loving it. Loving it. For PP3V3 underscore G3 hot, we get 3.42 volts. This software makes my life so much less miserable. Oh man, this is beautiful. Do you understand how beautiful this is? Do you know how annoying this used to be before? Wow. Wow. Just wow. Oh man. Paul Daniels is the man. Paul Daniels knows how it's done. PP5ES5 is 5 volts. This is going to save me so much time. This software is amazing. PP3V3S4. Okay, so we're missing S4 rails. Let's see if we have other let's see if we have all the other S5 rails. So PP5ES5 is present. Let's see, do we have PP3V1 RTC? We do. All right, PP3V3S5. PP3V3S5. There we go. 3.3. So we're missing S4 rails. And it's using 0.00 amps. Why is that? And it's missing PP5ES4. So let's take a look around the board and try and figure out what may be causing that problem. So right over here, I see corrosion. Do you see corrosion? Because I see corrosion. Yes, right there. What do you do? What are you for? Let's see what my board view software says. without using the mouse at all, I'm going to figure out, I mean the keyboard at all, I'm going to figure out what that's for. Okay, so it's a capacitor, C3307. That capacitor appears to be on the 20-volt USB connection bus. So if that was bad, if this capacitor that I'm looking at were bad, then I wouldn't have any of my other power rails. So that is corrosion that is actually irrelevant. So we can ignore that corrosion and move on. But our ability to be productive is not just with what we notice, but it accounts what we don't notice. We need to be able to ignore irrelevant portions of the world so that we can focus on the relevant ones. And the same is true with the board. So, what do we have over here? Hall sensor. The Hall sensor is corroded. Well, the Hall sensor is going to make the machine think it's asleep. That's a problem if the Hall sensor is corroded. Alright, so maybe the ultrasonic cleaner will do us something there. Let's continue looking around the board. Now do keep in mind, even if that was corroded, it should still turn on. It would just turn on, but would have a dim light on the screen and perhaps fall asleep. But that's no excuse for not even having S4 rails. Let's get the microscope camera as focused as I can for all of you. There's also corrosion over here by the backlight circuitry. But again, the backlight circuitry should not keep it from turning on. Now here we go. This is relevant corrosion. So if we take a look on the board view software and we take a look at this section of the board, what you're going to see is that what I'm pointing to, this is relevant corrosion. And when I say relevant corrosion, what I mean is that this chip is related to our problem. So if we look this up, this is U7650. This chip is responsible for creating the rail that's missing. This chip creates PP5ES4, and it also creates PP3V3S5. Now, PP3V3S5 is present, but PP5ES4 is not. So this having any sort of corrosion by it is no good, and it's an indication that this is where I'm going to put most of my focus on if I don't find corrosion anywhere else on the board. So I'm going to make a little mental note that this is something that I should take a look at. Now we're going to continue navigating the board. And I don't see anything else that appears to be corroded. So where's the first spot where I'm going to pay attention? The first place I'm going to pay attention to is going to be right over here, right by the chip that creates my 5-volt rail that's not showing up. This is the most relevant corrosion. There we go. Yeah, so this is the most relevant corrosion, so this is what I'm going to be focusing on. So let's put some flux in that area. Available at store.rossmangroup.com. After next week, we'll even have flux with a newer expiration date. Don't delay. Buy today. I mean, don't delay. Buy next week. It doesn't rhyme. Don't be meek. Buy next week. There we go. That rhymes. All right. Okay. I'm going to give it a little bit of a hot air reflow. Let's give it a reflow. Hey, Paul Daniels is here. Paul Daniels, how's it going? Paul, I hope you're doing well, my good friend. Because today we finally got a shill that's going to be going into a main channel video. Are you ready? Are you ready for that level of exposure, Paul? I hope you're ready for that level of exposure, Paul. 'Cause it's coming your way. A Vice TV level of exposure. All for you. All right, so one of these resistors was a little corroded, and that's this one right over here. So let's take a look and see what that thing is for. That's it. Okay, I'm just going to make a mental note of that one being corroded. Just going to give this area a nice little cleanup of soldering. Paul remembers the ad. Damn, that is some late night soldering there. Let's see if we've made some progress. According to our amp meter, we're still drawing 0 amps. Well, F me. Oh, 0.03 for a second, so it tried to draw something. That's kind of progress. It's actually it's looping. All right, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to replace that chip and the corroded resistor. Let's measure that resistor, because maybe that resistor's fine. R7685 is the one that was corroded a little bit. It's the only thing that really looked nasty to me. You're supposed to be 2.2 ohms. And what does the multimeter software say? Multimeter software says that you're... Yep, that's fine. Also, I'm kind of curious if P5VS4AN is pulsing. Burrito, says Voodoo Child. Indeed. 0.2 millivolts. Hey, Rob. How are you? How's the doggy? I hope doggy's doing well. I hope your dog is doing as well as my cat. Okay. Nothing. Well, that again, that's my only hint to go on here. It's literally my only hint, so I'm going to continue with my only hint. Maybe that chip is sucking my enable signal down. That's really all I have to go on. I know it's weak, but that was the area that was corroded, and we are going to follow that pathway. Someone says I'm supposed to be fixing my house, but this is more entertaining. This U7650 corrosion is fake news. Well, that's all I have to go on, so. Now, before I really do too much hot air in this area, let's cover that underfilled chip next door with a shield now, shall we? Or a penny. Here. Shield will do. You need a flux capacitor for all the flux you keep using. Only time I burned myself because I got up. What? I'm supposed to be working, but I keep watching this. I am supposed to be working, but I'm reading live chat. Okay, dot is in upper right corner. Orientation is good. Check your Discord PM for a second if you're able to. You know how there's so many Discord PMs there. 99% of my Discord PMs are, oh, is this Lewis? It's like, go away. I should put you on priority. I should make it a priority to check your PMs though, Paul. I'm sorry. I should have checked it. You've earned being checked. Paul, you've earned being checked out. You are one of 2 people in the chat that I should always check out. You did great starting from scratch in an empty room. Oh, thank you. You can disable DMs for anybody not in your friends list. I don't even think I have a friends list in Discord. I like to disable PMs for anybody that's not a moderator. That's what I should do. Love your way of problem solving. Greetings from Suriname. Suriname. What's that? In German, we don't make jokes. Huh. Oh, I'm German. Nice try, little chip. Yeah, Paul, I just read your PM. I accidentally found that feature. What I'm waiting for is to see all the comments on Paul's channel where they're all raging because he actually asked for money for the software. Like after 2 to 3 years of almost always just designing stuff for free just because people asked for it, to a professional standard of quality, Paul Daniels has said, "I would like some money, please. Sir, could you spare some change?" We'll see if there's a backlash from that. But this is worth it. All right. I'll wait for it to cool off and see what's going on after that. There's a new thing. There's a picture. It changes a lot of the market. Oh! Whoa, wait. You did it for iPhones. Holy crap. Paul! What? What? No way! No way in hell you did this for iPhones. Oh, man. Paul Daniels coming for ZXW tool. Look the hell out. No more using a dongle. That's one of the big reasons I don't use the XW tool. I'm not plugging no Chinese dongle into my computer that always has to communicate with China servers. Get the out of here. No, not happening. Whoa. Paul is killing it. Man, you got iPhone board views and schematics coming out in this software now? Oh, holy crap. Wow. I could cum my pants just sitting here staring at this picture. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is, awesome. Whoa. Are you people ready for this? Look at that. Look at that. Tell me that you could look at that picture and not just come in your seat right now. Look at this. He got iPhone board views to work in his software. How the... Other people are wasting time with shit like sending rockets to space when they could be supporting pldaniels.com. This is a beauty. This is sexy. I have not been this erect in over a year. Wow. Look at this. Look at this. John, I can get more. My God. This is beautiful. Not only does Paul Daniels software integrate the schematic with the board view, not only does it work on MacBooks, but soon it's even going to work with iPhones. Wow. Paul is killing the game. Paul, you're killing the game. Buy a burrito, says Dube, 85. There's no good burrito places near work, unfortunately. That's pretty sexy, says Chuck Keyworth. Damn straight it is. I hear your girlfriend makes great burritos. She does make great burritos, but unfortunately she lives in Boston. Where was I? Ah, F7. Let's see if this works. I bet this will work just because of Paul Daniels being here. 19.8 volts, 0 amps. Lame. And I got a spike to 0.03, but nothing. All right, at this point, I'm going to give up and let the ultrasonic cleaner do my work for me. With any luck, the ultrasonic cleaner will fix what my dumb brain can't. Paul Daniels makes solar roadways work properly. He's not that... No. No, that's not happening. Okay. So we're going to dump this board into the ultrasonic cleaner, which means I'm going to put on a low-pass filter so that you don't hear the cleaner that much. There we go. I'm going to be a little quieter. So this is my board. And that's my ultrasonic Doge cleaner. Say hello to Doge. He does all my ultrasonic cleaning. Hello, Doge. And here we go. We're off to the races, cleaning the board. Don't delay. Buy an ultrasonic cleaner at store.rossmangroup.com today. That Doge has gotten very heated. And the Doge also gets a lot of Branson EC on him when we take the boards in and out. Someone says people pedaling an electric generating bicycle would work better than a solar roadway. Yeah, by far. Solar roadways are a big scam. Don't let your memes be dreams, says Eddie. I would never let my memes be dreams. Now we're going to turn the board around. Elon Musk wants to start a platform for rating the credibility of journalists. Do you think this could finally be the end of Gizmodo? I think that would be, yeah, that would be really awesome. And if there's anybody that would be great at doing that, it's somebody that has billions and billions of dollars. Okay, so we're going to turn the board around. Get the other side of it all cleaned up. Much sonicking. How do you pronounce aluminum? Paul Daniels pronounces it the funny way, but Paul Daniels' toilet water also spins the wrong way as well. Can you turn that ultrasonic cleaner into a PC? I cannot. Isn't Musk naming his journalism rating service some Russian name? I remember thinking that was pretty funny. Elon Musk is a troll. He's a professional troll. Paul's water spins the right way. It definitely does not. Paul Daniels' water totally spins the wrong way. Everything works strangely in Australia. Okay, so now that the board itself is clean, now we're going to put it in some alcohol to displace all of that water from the ultrasonic. Damn, this camera is really big and unwieldy. I don't know why I still use it. I should sell this thing and get something else for recordings. I'm going to take that board and put it in a container of alcohol. I'm just going to have the alcohol move around the board. Some of that alcohol is actually evaporating, so I'm going to put some more alcohol in there, make sure the board is nicely covered in it. The alcohol is going to displace a lot of the water. Or as they say in Boston, water. Give me a glass of water. Where's the water? Okay. Now, take the board, drip off the excess alcohol here. And place it in the oven for a while. And once the board is dry, we take it from there. Dave Jones at EV Blog has some great solar roadways rants. Oh yeah, those are good. Dave Jones knows what's up with solar roadways. Dave Jones is on to the BS of solar roadways. Just want to say thanks for dealing with me every day. Huh. Anytime. You're a welcome guest. Fire gets rid of excess alcohol faster. But I don't want to use fire. Put it in the oven with GPUs. Well, no. I have a headache. I need to make the font larger. What temp is the oven set to? It looks like it's set to 200, 250 Fahrenheit, somewhere around there. Background shake is tipping me out. What do you mean background shake? There's no shake in the background. There's no... My protein shakes in my blender are in the other room. I see Dave Jones unloaded on Uber last night after the latest news about the Arizona death came out about the cyclist. I didn't see that. Dave Jones just published that his solar house paycheck is now 7 to 8 years instead of the predicted 5. Basically, it will pay for itself when tomorrow arrives. Fire is always best for Apple products, someone says. Well, I can't disagree with you there. You're not far off. Where is Pepe? Pepe is over there under my microphone. I really should clean up this office. There's so much junk in here. There's so much crap that I have to throw away. I'd have so much more room. What screensaver was on that on the desk at Paul's desk? I think he has the Matrix screensaver. I'm not sure though. I think that may be on his laptop. Not having an alert for the disabled emergency brake system is insane. Is that what happened with the Uber car? Can a blowtorch fix this MacBook Pro? I don't think so. That's not a good idea. I used to like black coffee, but I've been drinking cheaper stuff so the milk drowns out the acid. Any recommendations for beginner soldering iron kit? My use case is basic capacitor replacement. I think that TS100 is pretty good. I have an Amazon. I should have an Amazon link in the description for the TS100. If not, it's definitely in the TS100 video that I did. You just search for Banggood TS100 on YouTube and you'll find it. This is a pretty good iron. Make sure to get it with the proper tips so that you have, because it comes with a conical tip. Conical tips are useless. But this is a pretty nice little iron. I like it. It's cool. I just got to get a better cable for it. Using this speaker cable is not that I'm using is not comfortable. I have it terminated with a speaker cable, and speaker cable sucks. So if there's anybody that made a wire for it, just buy it. It's worth it, rather than jerry-rigging something together yourself. Or if you feel like jerry-rigging something together yourself, do that. Then get yourself some Gootwick on store.rossmangroup.com. And if you want a hot air station, check out the 861DW, also available on store.rossmangroup.com. Uber should be out of business turning off emergency braking so their passengers wouldn't be bothered. Yeah, it's one of those things where you have Lyft, so if Uber gets in big shit, then it's not really a case of, oh my God, there's not going to be anything that competes. We'll lose our ability to just hail a cab on our phone anywhere in the world. .5 Celsius. I don't use Celsius. I'm an American. I say solder without the L. We use Fahrenheit, miles, feet, inches, aluminum. Fuck yeah. Not sure if you talked about this, but you always say New York is dangerous and expensive. You could start a new business or go back and redo this one. Will you still do it in New York? No. Do you happen to play an instrument? I play the soldering iron. If you ask people to pick a number between 10 and 50 that use both odd digits, 80% would say 37. Is that true? I feel like we Americans are warming up to the metric system. Only reason Uber is cheap is that they are using venture capital funds to lower the rates. Yeah, that's a big one. I haven't looked at it, but I remember when everybody was saying that Groupon was the super successful company, realizing that they're not. They actually don't make money. They lose a lot of money, but people think they're successful. And when Groupon would call me and say, if you do this, you may get this many more customers. No, this is great for your business. I would always have to point out to the telemarketer that got in touch with me that your own business model is not profitable. And while I may be an idiot that invests in AGRX, I still have a better net profit than Groupon. Because Groupon don't make money. They lost a lot of money one year. TS100 uses micro USB as a power supply. No, it uses a DC jack. I don't know which type. And that's the other thing. I don't know. Like, you have to find a cable that fits, and I'm bad with knowing the names and the numbers and the standards for those little cables. Would Paul be mad at me if I turned up the temperature of the oven so this dried faster? I'm sure Paul wouldn't mind. Paul would be happy that my board was drying a little faster. Yeah, we can do 250. 250 is a fine temperature. There we go. I think Apple has forgotten its roots of how it began. That's why they are losing money to other competitors. Are they losing money to competitors, though? When you say they're losing money to competitors, so how are they losing money? Because from where I'm sitting, and I'm not defending them, I'm just saying that they're making record amounts of money that they've never made before. So I don't see what you mean when you say that they've lost their roots. I mean, not that part. I mean, I don't understand what you're saying when you say that they are losing money to competitors. At least we don't drive on the left side of the road. I don't know how to drive, so I can't get your snarky joke. GIF is GIF. I agree with A. Floyd. GIF. I don't get people that say GIF. The recent stats for Groupon are from 2016, where they were losing $200 million a year. Yeah, so when they're telling me, Lewis, you need to do this for your business to be more successful, you're not who I'm going to listen to, you know? You sell fuses for an Apple? If so, why? We do sell fuses for Apple, and you can check them out over here at Rossman Group, store.rossmangroup.com. It actually says rossmangroup.com/boards, but there'll be a link there that takes you to store.rossmangroup.com. DC 5525 laptop charger. That's what you need, yeah. You need a plug. But I would suggest running it at 24 volts, not 18 or 19 volts. Just buy yourself a cheap power supply that's 24 volts DC. For how much would you work for Apple? I would work for Apple. My number's gone down, to be honest with you. After my investment in Agile Therapeutics tanked from like $5 to $4 to 60 cents, my number's gone down, but it's still high. It's still high. I would not work for Apple for less than... I would have to make an absolute minimum of $1 million for my time there. And I'm not talking about like lifetime $1 million. I mean, you know, like before my lease is up, at the very least, a few million bucks. A few $1 million would be my price. I can say my answer is right, but it's how I understand it. What are your opinions on Huawei? Huawei... is Huawei the company that has this funky background process running that's constantly tracking what you're doing? I don't really trust Huawei a lot with that. But there's also the issue with Huawei that they're not liquid resistant. They cost several $100s more than the Moto G. They don't run stock Android. I mean, it's fast. Jason showed me his Huawei phone, and it runs really fast. But still, it's not stock Android. But at least that's better than Samsung. Like, Samsung is not stock Android, and it's slow as shit. Huawei is not stock Android, but at least it's fast and zippy. But still, no liquid resistance and $400. Bleh. I forget which Huawei Jason had, though. Apple won the case against Samsung, so now they can pay the tax to Ireland. Apple has a 20% profit margin right now. Seems pretty competitive to me. Yep. 20% profit's not insane, but at the volume that they have, that is insane. You can't really say that a company is losing money. They might earn less, but losing money, no. You actually can say that. You can say that when a company has negative profit. Lots of negative profit, you can say that. Now, it may have a lot of negative profit because the executives are purposely paying themselves ridiculous, insane amounts of money, but that's a different story. How do you feel about the proposed concealed carry reciprocity Act, allowing anyone with a CCW to carry anywhere in the U.S.? I don't really care. I mean, if people go through the effort to get that, then... Like, that's the thing that people don't get. And people that want to carry guns are going to carry guns. It's just a question of whether they're going to do it legally. Sell out, Lewis. Yes. Just a few millions? I think a few millions would do me fine. It also depends. What am I doing? Is a few $1,000,000 to work for Apple to delete all my videos? Because fuck no, I'm not doing that. A few $1 million to work there, sure. For me to delete all my content online, like to delete every video I've done, delete the forum, close my store, that would have to be. Fuck, I'd have to make a few. It'd have to be a few $100 million for that. Like, give me $200 or $300 million, and then I would consider it. Lewis is sad that his transdermal estrogen patches kept falling off. Did not fall off. They fell off at the same rate as Ortho-Evra. They fell off at the same rate as Ortho-Evra. And they were going to include a free patch in everybody's prescription. Which is not something that Ortho-Evra does, by the way. With Ortho-Evra, it's totally up to the discretion of the pharmacist as to whether or not they're going to give you another patch. With Twirla, they were going to give you another, oh, it fell off here. Just have one. For free. But no. And it's a low dosage. Steady state low dosage. Much better than a large dosage up front. Better for your health. Less itching, less vaginal bleeding, less nausea, less headaches, less mood swings. Who doesn't want less vaginal bleeding? Twirla. Ortho-Evra. Did so. I know more about birth control than I ever intended to in my lifetime. At least female birth control. What do you think of Samsung smartphones? They're all right, but they seal the battery in. That kind of sucks. At least they're liquid proof. What I have no tolerance for is when companies seal the battery in and they're not liquid resistant. That's bullshit. So at least they seal the battery in, but at least they seal the deal with IP68. And the thing with Samsung is they don't use stock Android, and they lag. I can never get it to lag when I want to show it to you for a review. Every time I want to turn on my camera and say, look, it's lagging, it stops lagging. It's like the thing can fucking hear me. But they do lag. And they lag more than phones that use stock Android. So that pisses me off. For $600, they should offer an option. At least give us a checkbox. You know, do you want to buy with TouchWiz and Bixby and Knox and all of our extra shit? Or do you just want fucking stock Android? Give me stock Android. They won't do it. That bothers me. I want to carry a gun. I can't live in New York City. Yes, you can. All you have to do is be a criminal. That's what most of the criminals in New York do. They carry guns. They just get away with it because they're the criminal. Who is better, Tim Cook or Steve Jobs? Tim Cook was a logistics expert, and Steve Jobs was a creative person. Though they're not the same job, so it doesn't make sense. It's like saying, who's better? Like Johnny Cochran or Bill Gates. It doesn't make sense. Can you get stock Android if you root it? You can, but I've heard, and I could be wrong here because it's been a long time since I looked this up, but that if you root something like the S7 or the S8 and then you try to put stock Android on it, it fucks with the microphones, the noise cancellation that gets used, so it'll sound different when you call people because they don't have because then you won't have the algorithm for the proper usage of the several microphones to do the noise canceling or the outside noise cancellation. And that sucks. Either way, I don't want to. That's the thing that people don't get. I don't want to. If I spend extra money, I don't want to root the phone. If I spend extra money, I just want to buy it and have it work as is. It's not a feature to me that, oh, if you want to have the good version of Android, you can Google and read XDA developers and download this tool and run ADB. And I don't want to do all that shit. When I spend $600, I just want to get it to work. It doesn't mess with sound algorithms now. It just disables the Samsung Google Pay feature. That's good to know. I remember doing that with the HTC. I had the HTC Sensation 4G, and I remember running some... this was... I really don't want to make fun of open source development because they put a ridiculous amount of effort in for free. But it's just... the thing is, since it's being done by people that are doing all this crap for free, everything that works is kind of considered an extra. So what do I mean by that? Well, for example, it had a Wi-Fi calling feature. And I used that in 2011 because my office was in a basement, right? So I install it. I'm thinking to myself, oh man, not a lot of business today. You know, there's no phone calls. And then I realized that the ROM that I put on had Wi-Fi calling, but it didn't work. And then I remember commenting in the thread, and they said, oh yeah, I never bothered to put that in. And I said, but you have the button for Wi-Fi calling. Oh yeah, but we never made it work. And it's like, ah! You know, it's just... And you can't be mad because they did it for free. I can't be mad at somebody that put together something for free. I have no right to be. I want to pay you $600 to $800 for a phone. I want to have the right to be mad at you if your ROM doesn't work the way I want. That's the deal. Samsung's crap that they add in has made me use an iPhone instead for my daily. Yeah, I don't blame you. You know, I don't want to deal with Samsung's added in shit either. I don't blame you for... Oh, especially with the older phones like the Note 2 and the Note 1 or the S2. Like, oh my God. Those phones lagged like fucking crazy after a while. And some of you who are smarter could probably tell me why. Somebody on an earlier stream had mentioned something about how they didn't implement trim right on the older phones. I could be talking out of my ass here, so please correct me if I'm wrong. But one of the reasons that the older Samsung phones ran slow after time was because something about them, something with the memory or something about the memory going bad with time. Anybody who's an expert on Android phones, please throw me a bone here. Tell me if but I remember the older Samsung phones getting really slow over time, and that was very bothersome. Okay, so we're taking 19.8 volts at 0 amps, which means that after ultrasonicking and replacing the corroded affected areas, we have gotten nowhere with this board. That sucks. Someone said, wear leveling. Is that it? Abandon Samsungs for Huawei. I can understand why people don't like Android if they've only experienced Samsung's mess. Yeah, Samsung makes some good hardware. It's just stop making the software. Just stop. That's the thing. They had really nice screens for a long time. And nobody else... Remember, in 2010, you could not get good screens for a smartphone. Nobody made acceptable screens on smartphones. They were all garbage. But... Someone said eMMC memory would get effed up. Embedded system on my day job, we laugh at Samsung memory quality. Why is that, Darknace? I'm curious. I want to learn something. You sound way smarter than me, so tell me what you know about Samsung memory. Tell me why it is the old Samsungs would lag so quickly. Should I keep putting time into this board or give up? I can't tell why it is I'm not getting any S4s. Someone said give up, leave it for Paul. That's what I'm about to do. What's this junk? Let's scrape this crap off. The corroded Hall sensor area is no longer really that bad. That resistor isn't very nice, but again, the Hall sensor is not something that matters a lot right now. Samsung TLC has 10K read-write cycles. That's what they produce. We use 100K read-write cycle NAND. For what type of product? I'm curious. Do you manufacture smartphones or something else entirely? Ugh, so lame. Alright, so this is probably a missing PM sleep S5L, isn't it? So P5VS4EN. That's going to... Where does this come from? That comes from PMEN P5VS4. Which comes out of U7800. And U7800 is this thing. SN 650839. Dewey has corroded balls under there. I see something nasty. Oh, I see some crosstalk between those balls. Do you see what I see? There's crosstalk between those balls. All right, rehottery, bro. Time for rehot. Better call slide. Let's see. Better call Saul to fix those balls. Yep. All right, interesting. So in this machine, that doesn't come from the CPU. Single right-click on the part name in the PDF. There's no need to block select. I'll stop being a noob, Paul, I promise. Am I really a pro? I'm about 1 out of 3 here. That's a 33 out of 100. That's a terrible score. All right, I think we've preheated this area enough. Should be able to go in for the kill now. I want to see it move for a good 5 seconds. I have that Amtech flux have some time to clean up all the junk from under the chip. Hey, there's somebody from Australia in the chat that's not Paul Daniels. No, it's not Dave Jones. I've had Dave Jones show up on one stream ever. That was cool. I like Dave. I was honored that Dave showed up on my stream. Seems... Okay. See if we get any progress. No dice. And 0 volts on my signal that I need. Sad. Now let's look at this schematic a little closer. Okay, so it looks like we have outputs on the right and inputs on the left. So I'm going to take a guess that if you have the inputs on the left, that you get the outputs on the right. So the question would be, do I have the inputs on the left? Now, obviously, if I need... These signals are mostly for the... Yeah, that's an SO signal, so I should ignore that. PP3V3 SO. PM sleep S3L and SOL for getting into an SO state. SMC PM G2EN has got to be present because I have S5 rails. PM sleep S4L is probably the one that's important here for waking us so that we don't go to sleep from an S4 state. And I'm going to take the wild guess that PM sleep S4L is also missing. So let's see if that's the case. And it is. And PM sleep S4L is going to come from... It's a pull-down resist from the CPU, which is likely dead. So is it the PMIC that's dead? Is it the CPU that's dead? I would say it's the CPU. But yeah, these CPUs and these touch bars are... Yeah, it's really lame. I'm going to eventually have to come up with a way of figuring out if there's a pattern of a sequence that's required for PM sleep S4 and S5L on these newer machines. Like, it used to be the standard stuff. It used to be, okay, the on the older ones, it would be the MCP's not getting power. Yeah, it used to be the MCP's not getting power. Then it was, okay, maybe your RTC pull-up resistors are bad. Then it was, okay, it's your BIOS or SPI ROM traces. And I don't really know what the standard fault is going to be that keeps PM sleep S4L from working in these new models. I'm not really sure what that is yet. But it's going to be something. Looking at your links, I see that 390A multimeter, but the guide for OBS is the Tech Power. I got to delete that Tech Power guide, actually, because I bought 3 of those in a row, and I just gave up. It's like, okay, I'm going to try to buy a $40 multimeter. And I wound up spending more on that piece of crap, just in 9-volt batteries that it went through every other day than I did on this B&K. The Tech Power is shit. I have to move the blog. I have the link to it. Yeah, thank you for clicking, though. Yeah. So this board is done. I'm going to leave this board in Paul's status. I'm sure he'll figure it out. He'll know what to do. Paul always knows what to do. But seriously, I'm stumped. Poor Boot Loop Paul. Yeah, that's going to be his new nickname. Boot Looping Paul. Did you check the PP bus? I checked the PP bus. And I'm kind of getting yawny, so it's time for me to take the PP bus home. So that's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something. We fixed 1 out of 3. That's pathetic. That is sad. These streams are getting worse and worse. Do you read only YouTube or Twitch chats? I only read YouTube chats. I never read the Twitch one. Check PP Volt as well. I checked Pepe Volt already. 5G will fix all the poor sacks and fiber to the node. Oh man, this is poor. This sucked. That was a terrible attempt at board repair. That was awful. So much junk. Touch bar! Touch bar. Touch bar is missing PM Sleep S5L and PM Sleep S4L are going to be a bitch. Man. Sad. Kind of sad. Nothing I've done this week has worked. Not one thing.